Life isn't always gentle. There are moments when everything feels heavy, when dreams seem distant and the road ahead feels endless. In those moments, it's easy to forget your power, your light, your worth. But the truth is this: within you lies a strength that no challenge can destroy. Every time you rise again, even just a little, you tell the universe, I am not done yet. When life feels heavy and uncertain, the most healing thing you can do is to stop running from what you feel and simply acknowledge where you are. There is great power in facing yourself with honesty and compassion. Too often, when pain arises, the instinct is to hide from it, to distract yourself, or to criticize yourself for not being stronger. But the truth is, healing begins the moment you stop pretending that you're okay and allow yourself to say, this is where I am right now. Acknowledgement is not about giving up. It is not about accepting defeat. It's about creating space for your humanity. When you acknowledge where you are, you invite awareness and honesty into your life. You stop fighting reality, and instead you begin to understand it. You start to see that the feelings you've been avoiding, sadness, anger, confusion, exhaustion, are not your enemies. They are signals. They are your inner self asking for attention, care, and love. There is no shame in feeling lost. There is no weakness in admitting that something hurts. Everyone, no matter how strong they seem, has moments when they question themselves, when life feels like too much. But the difference between staying stuck and healing lies in your willingness to sit with yourself without judgment. When you can say, I feel broken, but I still love myself, you begin to shift your energy from resistance to acceptance. And that's where transformation begins. Many people believe that acknowledging pain means amplifying it, but it's the opposite. What you resist persists. The more you deny your feelings, the louder they become. But when you acknowledge them, you bring light into dark spaces. You say to your heart, I see you. I hear you. I'm not ignoring you anymore. That is how you begin to calm the storms within. If you find yourself judging your emotions, telling yourself that you shouldn't feel this way, or should be over it by now, pause and remind yourself that healing has no timeline. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to learn something that will shape you into a wiser, more compassionate version of yourself. Let yourself cry if you need to. Let yourself rest. Let yourself process the emotions that you've carried for far too long. Acknowledgement also means forgiving yourself for the choices you made when you didn't know better. It means releasing the guilt for trusting people who hurt you, or for staying in situations longer than you should have. You were doing the best you could with the understanding you had at the time. You don't heal by blaming yourself. You heal by embracing yourself. Sometimes the reason we struggle to acknowledge where we are is because we fear that doing so will make the pain permanent. But pain does not stay forever when you face it. It only lingers when you suppress it. Think of your emotions like waves. They rise, they crash, and then they fade. You don't need to stop the tide. You just need to let it flow through you. Take a deep breath and say to yourself, it's okay to be here. It's okay to feel what I feel. This simple act of acceptance releases a powerful energy within you. It allows you to soften. It opens the door for healing to enter. You don't need to fix everything today. You don't need to have all the answers. Just be present with your truth. The beauty of acknowledgement is that it brings peace even before circumstances change. When you stop fighting your reality, your heart begins to settle. And from that calm space, new strength emerges. You realize that even though things are hard right now, you are still capable of love, hope, and renewal. So be gentle with yourself. Speak softly to your soul. You are not your pain. You are the awareness that observes it. You are the light that holds space for it. And as you acknowledge where you are, without judgment, you give yourself the permission to heal, to grow, and to rise again, stronger, wiser, and more loving than before. When the world feels unkind, when people misunderstand you, overlook you, or speak words that sting, it becomes even more important to be your own source of comfort. In those moments, your voice, the way you speak to yourself, can either heal you or hurt you. What you tell yourself in silence has the power to shape how you see the world and how you recover from its challenges. Speaking kindly to yourself when the world doesn't is an act of deep courage and self-respect. It's a declaration that your worth is not determined by how others treat you, but by how lovingly you treat yourself. The truth is, life will not always give you the validation you hope for. People may fail to see your effort or dismiss your pain. You may find yourself standing alone when you expected support. But even then, you are never truly alone, because you have your own inner voice, and it can become your greatest ally or your harshest critic. If your thoughts are filled with self-blame, doubt, or harsh judgment, you deepen the wounds the world gives you. But if your words are gentle, encouraging, and forgiving, you begin to heal from the inside out. Kind self-talk isn't about pretending everything is fine or denying reality. It's about choosing to respond to yourself with compassion rather than cruelty. When you make a mistake, instead of saying, "I'm so stupid," say, "I'm learning and I'll do better next time." When life feels too heavy, instead of whispering, "I can't handle this," tell yourself, "I'm stronger than I think, and I will take one step at a time." These words may seem simple, but they carry incredible power. The mind listens to everything you say, and it builds your reality from your words. When you speak kindly to yourself, you reprogram your inner world. You replace fear with trust, shame with acceptance, and doubt with faith. You start to notice that even when others criticize you, you don't crumble as easily because you have built a sanctuary within yourself, a place of peace that no one else can touch. This is self-love in its purest form, the decision to be gentle with yourself. Even when the world is not, remember that your worth does not come from achievements, appearances, or approval. It comes from your essence, the unchanging, radiant light within you. You are not broken, you are becoming. You are not behind, you are on your path. Every time you choose to speak kindly to yourself, you align with that truth. You remind your heart that it is safe to trust life again. You may not always control what others say to you, but you always have the power to control how you speak to yourself. When the outer noise becomes too loud, turn inward and become your own source of calm. Tell yourself the words you've always needed to hear. I am proud of you for trying. I forgive you for the times you didn't know better. I believe in you even when no one else does. These words are medicine for the soul. The more you practice kindness toward yourself, the more your outer world begins to shift. People and opportunities that align with your new energy will start to appear. Life responds to the vibration you hold within. When you nurture yourself with love, you attract love. When you affirm your worth, the universe mirrors it back to you. So, when the world feels cold, wrap yourself in warmth. When you feel unseen, remind yourself that your existence matters. When others' words wound you, Let your own words become the balm that heals. Speak to yourself the way you would to someone you deeply love, with tenderness, patience, and care. You deserve that level of compassion. You always have. And even in the darkest times, when you feel like your light is fading, let your inner voice whisper softly, I am still here. I am still worthy. I am still growing. Because you are. You are your own safe place. And the love you give yourself today will guide you through every storm tomorrow. One of the hardest lessons in life is learning to release the need to control everything. So often we cling tightly to how we think life should unfold. The timing, the outcomes, the people, the circumstances. We plan, we predict, and when things don't go our way, we feel fear, frustration, or disappointment. But the truth is, control is often an illusion. We can influence life, but we cannot force it to bend to our expectations. The more we try to control everything, the more resistance we create, and resistance always leads to suffering. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting the process. It means having faith that life knows what it's doing, even when you don't understand it yet. Sometimes the things that fall apart are actually falling into place in ways you can't yet see. What seems like a setback may be a redirection towards something better. But when we cling too tightly, we block that flow. We stop the natural unfolding of what is meant for us because we're too focused on forcing what isn't. Control often comes from fear. Fear of loss, fear of uncertainty, fear of pain. We believe that if we can manage every detail, we can protect ourselves from being hurt. But life isn't meant to be lived from fear. It's meant to be lived from trust. When you release control, you make space for grace to enter. You allow life to surprise you, to guide you, to bring blessings in ways you never imagined. Think about the moments in your life when something didn't go as planned, but turned out even better than you expected. That's the beauty of surrender. It's not passive, it's powerful. It's an act of saying, I trust that what's meant for me will find me, and what's not will fall away. It's choosing peace over anxiety, faith over fear, and flow over force. When you let go, you begin to see life as a dance rather than a battle. You stop fighting the current and start moving with it. You start to understand that timing is divine, that everything happens exactly when it's supposed to. The delays, the detours, the waiting, they are not punishments. They are preparation. The universe is never late. It's aligning you with the right opportunities, people, and lessons at the right time. You may not be able to control what happens, but you can control how you respond. You can choose patience instead of panic, surrender instead of struggle. You can remind yourself that every time something leaves your life, it's creating space for something new to arrive. You can trust that life is always working for you, not against you. When you release the need to control, you also release the pressure to be perfect. You stop trying to fix everything and everyone around you. You stop carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. You begin to breathe again. You begin to live again. Because control is exhausting. It drains your energy and blinds you to the miracles that are already unfolding. True peace comes when you accept that you don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to trust each step as it comes. Letting go doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing what you can and then allowing life to do the rest. You plant the seed, but you don't pull on it every day to make it grow faster. You trust that in time it will bloom. So take a deep breath and soften your grip. You don't have to control everything to be safe. You don't have to know how it will all work out to move forward. Trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust that every unanswered question will find its answer when the time is right. Trust that what is truly yours can never be taken away. The moment you release control, peace enters. The moment you stop fighting what is, you open yourself to what can be. Life flows in mysterious and beautiful ways. All you have to do is allow it. When life feels overwhelming, when the mountain ahead seems too high to climb, it's easy to forget that transformation doesn't happen all at once. It happens in small, steady steps. The power of small steps is often underestimated, yet it's one of the most profound truths of growth and healing. You don't need to change everything today. You don't need to have all the answers or fix every problem. You just need to take one small, loving step forward, even if it's tiny. Because small steps taken with faith have the power to move mountains. The mind loves to think in big leaps, big goals, big dreams, big changes. But the soul understands the beauty of slow progress. Each small step you take toward your healing, your peace, or your dream sends a message to the universe. I am ready to grow. Every day you choose to get up, to try again, to keep believing. You are creating momentum, even if it doesn't look like much yet. Growth is often invisible in the beginning, but that doesn't mean it isn't happening. Think about how nature moves. A flower doesn't bloom overnight. A seed doesn't break through the soil in an instant. There are silent processes happening beneath the surface, nurturing, expanding, preparing. The same is true for you. Your small steps, your quiet efforts, your unseen resilience, they are building the foundation for something extraordinary. It's easy to feel discouraged when progress seems slow. But remember, every great transformation in life is built from moments that once seemed insignificant. Reading one page a day turns into finishing a book. Saying one affirmation daily turns into a new mindset. Choosing to forgive a little each day eventually brings freedom to your heart. The steps themselves may feel small, but their ripple effect is infinite. There's also a gentleness in small steps that honors your humanity. You are not a machine meant to push endlessly. You are a soul learning, growing, and becoming. Small steps give you room to breathe, to rest, to make mistakes, and to start again. They remind you that progress isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. You don't need to run to your destination. Walking with purpose is enough. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs happen after the smallest acts of courage. Choosing to smile when you want to give up. Writing down one thing you're grateful for when your heart feels heavy. Taking a deep breath instead of reacting in anger. These are not small things, they are miracles in motion. Each one rewires your energy, your mindset, and your relationship with life. The beauty of small steps is that they accumulate quietly. One day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. You'll notice that the things that once triggered you no longer hold power over you. You'll see that the habits you built slowly have become part of who you are. You'll realize that your patience was not in vain, that every small act of faith carried you closer to your purpose. Don't let comparison steal your peace. Everyone's journey unfolds at a different pace. Some people may move quickly, while others take years to bloom. That doesn't make your path any less valuable. What matters is that you keep moving, that you keep showing up for yourself, even when it's hard. Small steps done with love and consistency will always lead to transformation. So take today as it comes. You don't have to have a grand plan. just a gentle commitment to keep going. Do one thing that brings you closer to peace. Speak one kind word to yourself. Choose one thought that feels better than the one before it. Those are your steps today. And when you doubt whether those steps matter, remember this: rivers carve through mountains one drop at a time. The sun rises 1 minute at a time. Healing happens one breath at a time. You are no different. Keep walking, keep trusting, and keep believing in the quiet power of small steps. One day, you'll realize that every little thing you did added up to the life you once dreamed of. Pain changes us. It shakes us, breaks us, and strips away everything that isn't real. It forces us to look deeper, to find meaning, to find truth, to find ourselves again. While pain can feel unbearable in the moment, it carries within it the seeds of purpose. When you stop resisting it and begin to listen, you discover that every heartbreak, every disappointment, every loss is guiding you toward a greater version of who you are meant to become. We are taught to run from pain, to see it as something negative that must be avoided at all costs. But pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It reveals the places within you that still need healing, understanding, and love. It shows you what matters and what no longer serves you. When you allow yourself to face pain with courage rather than fear, it transforms from something that weakens you into something that strengthens you. Every person who has achieved deep wisdom or inner peace has walked through seasons of suffering. They didn't escape it. They used it. They allowed their pain to shape them, refine them, and awaken them to their purpose. You can do the same. The heartbreak that tore you open can teach you the depth of love. The betrayal that shattered your trust can teach you discernment and self-worth. The loss that left you empty can open your heart to compassion for others who grieve. Pain, when faced consciously, always brings a gift. Turning pain into purpose begins with acceptance. You don't need to understand why something happened right away. You just need to accept that it did and trust that it can serve a higher reason. Life doesn't make mistakes. Even the things that seem unfair or cruel often redirect you toward the path your soul is meant to walk. The pain you feel now might be the very thing that pushes you toward your calling, your art, your voice, your service to others. When you are in the midst of deep pain, it can feel impossible to see anything good in it. But healing is not about pretending to be okay. It's about allowing yourself to grow through what you've been through. Cry if you need to. Scream if you must. But don't let your pain be the end of your story. Let it be the fire that forges you into something extraordinary. Let it be the reason you become more loving, more understanding, and more awake. There will come a day when you look back and realize that the moments you thought would destroy you actually shaped you into someone wiser, softer, and more resilient. The cracks in your heart will become openings for light to enter. You'll begin to understand that your pain gave you empathy, the ability to truly see and feel for others. It gave you strength, the courage to keep moving even when life felt unbearable. And it gave you clarity, the vision to know what truly matters in this world. Your pain has meaning because you have meaning. You are not here to suffer endlessly. You are here to evolve, to learn to transform your wounds into wisdom. When you take what once broke you and use it to uplift others, your pain becomes sacred. It becomes your purpose. Your story becomes a light for those still walking through the darkness. So, take the pain that life has handed you and hold it with compassion. Ask yourself, what can I create from this? What can I learn from this? Who can I help because of this? Those questions shift you from victimhood to empowerment. You begin to see that pain was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to awaken you to your power. You are not your wounds. You are the healer that emerges from them. You are not the pain itself. You are the purpose it brings to life. Trust that every tear you've cried, every sleepless night you've endured, and every piece of your heart that has been broken is guiding you toward a deeper reason for being. Let your pain shape your purpose, and let that purpose become the light that leads you and others home. When you've been hurt, betrayed, or left behind, the instinct is to close off your heart. You build walls, not because you want to, but because you feel safer that way. Love once felt like home, and then it became the source of your deepest pain. So you convince yourself that closing your heart will protect you. But over time, that protection becomes a prison. The truth is, healing begins when you allow your heart to open again. Not recklessly, not to anyone who doesn't deserve it, but gently, intentionally, and with the wisdom your experiences have given you. To open your heart to love again is to reclaim your faith in life. It's to believe that not everyone will hurt you the way someone once did. It's to understand that love itself never betrayed you. Only certain people did. Love, in its pure form, is never cruel. Love doesn't abandon or manipulate. Love heals, lifts, and restores. When you shut your heart to avoid pain, you also shut yourself off from joy, connection, and the beautiful flow of life. You may feel safe, but you also feel empty. You stop truly living. Opening your heart again begins with forgiving yourself for the times you didn't know better. Forgiving too much, trusting too soon, or staying too long. You were only trying to love. You were only doing what your soul knew best. There is no shame in that. Every experience you've had, even the painful ones, has taught you something about love. How to give it more wisely, how to receive it more fully, and how to recognize when it's real. Before love can enter your life again, it must first bloom within you. That means nurturing the relationship you have with yourself. Speak to yourself kindly. Treat yourself with the care you once reserved for others. Learn to enjoy your own company, to be at peace with your solitude. When you fill your own heart with love, you stop seeking it from a place of emptiness. You stop needing others to complete you because you already feel whole. And from that wholeness, you begin to attract people and experiences that mirror your inner harmony. Opening your heart doesn't mean ignoring your boundaries. It doesn't mean letting just anyone in. It means letting go of fear and trusting that you can handle whatever comes. It means knowing that even if love doesn't last forever, it's still worth experiencing. Every time you love, you expand. Every time you allow yourself to feel, you deepen your understanding of life. Love in all its forms, romantic, spiritual, compassionate, connects you to your true essence. It reminds you that you are alive. You might worry that opening your heart again will make you vulnerable, but vulnerability isn't weakness. It's strength. It's the courage to show up without guarantees. It's saying, I choose to love anyway. That's what makes the heart so powerful. Its ability to be broken and still choose to love again. Every time you open your heart, you invite healing. You invite joy. You invite the universe to meet you with people who are ready to love you as deeply as you love yourself. Don't rush the process. The heart opens slowly, like a flower that turns toward the sun after a storm. Be gentle with yourself as you heal. Notice the moments when you feel joy again, when laughter feels easy, when hope quietly returns. Those are signs that your heart is awakening. Let it. Let yourself feel again. Let yourself trust again. Let yourself believe that love still exists, because it does. In the sunrise, in kind words, in your breath, in the very fact that you're still here, still willing to try. Opening your heart to love again is one of the most courageous acts you can do. It means you've decided that pain will not define you, that you will not let the past close the door on the beauty that's meant for you. Love didn't leave you. It's been waiting for you to come home to it. And when you finally do, you'll realize that love was never something you had to chase. It was always something you carried within you, patiently waiting for you to open your heart and let it shine again.